Hey, what's up? This is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Now, who's ready for some fighting words? In this video, I want to talk about David Benavidez and I want to talk about Jai Opetaia. Really quick, if you like the videos, please take the time right now and subscribe to the channel. It literally takes one click. And also, if you could, please hit that thumbs up button, show love, and support this channel. So, after Jai Opetaia's win over a guy that we all knew he was going to beat, so there was nothing shocking about it, and he literally broke the man's face. Of all the people in the world that, who could fight Jai Opetaia? And, the interviewers, like, the division scared of you. And Jai's like, no, they're not afraid of me. But who can take this guy on? And, of course, he's calling out Ramirez because he wants the guy with the belts, because he wants to unify. So why not? Ramirez. And out of the blue, who would have thought? David Benavidez says, I'll fight you. And I'm like, yes, this is a fight we need. If there's a fight more intriguing for me personally with David Benavidez that doesn't include Canelo Alvarez, it would be a Jai Opetaia. This is a very exciting fight. This is a very intriguing fight. And I want to do a breakdown for it because it could very well happen. Ramirez has some, he has a fight coming up, so he has an obligation. And then you have David Benavidez. I think he's just well aware now he's never going to get his hands on Canelo. So if I'm not going to get my hands on Canelo, let me make as much noise as humanly possible. And I think right now with the heat that Jai Opetaia has on him right now, he is scorching hot right now. I think, why not? You have two juggernauts, two giants right now. You have David Benavidez and you have Jai Opetaia. So let's jump into this. We're going to start this thing off a resume. Who is the better resume? Is it Jai Opetaia or is it David Benavidez? By far, I think it is David Benavidez. I think he has more solid, more credible guys on his resume than Jai Opetaia. He has guys like Caleb Plant. He has guys like Demetrius Andrade. And those are two, especially at one time, two avoided guys. And when he fought Demetrius Andrade, nobody was rushing for years to fight Demetrius Andrade. So it says something about David Benavidez that he's willing to take on those tough challenges and the guys who are considered the top of the top and the creme de la creme. Jai Opetaia doesn't quite have the resume that David Benavidez has. So we got to give that to David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. Power. I'm going with Jai Opetaia. So as David Benavidez has gone up in weight, he is not hitting with the same amount of, veracity. He still has a speed. He's still, the thing with David Benavidez is it's always been volume that hurts guys. It's just a lot of punches coming nonstop at you. There's no relentlessness, or there is a relentlessness in which he's throwing these things at you. And it's like someone has just a bunch of pebbles just throwing them at you. So is he hitting the hardest? Well, at this weight, no. The current weight that he's at right now, and especially the more he moves up. So we saw when he moved up, he still beat the guy, and of course it was volume. However, he wasn't doing the type of damage that he was doing before. So when it comes to punching power, Jai Opetaia is breaking people's faces with a one punch. We're going with Jai Opetaia. Jai Opetaia is sleeping guys. We're going with Jai Opetaia. He's got guys, every time his fights are finished, guys are just lying there halfway lifeless on the canvas. You got to go with Jai Opetaia when it comes to power. Boxing IQ. So here's the thing. I think they're kind of even, because I'm not going to say David Benavidez has the highest boxing IQ. For a very large, probably 90% of his career, it's just been that he's such a big dude that he can take a lot of punishment. He is the Mexican monster for a reason. He can take a lot of punishment, and he can throw a vast amount of punches. And he gets better as the rounds go on. So when you can endure a lot of pain and you can dish out just as much or more than what your opponent's giving you, yeah, of course you're gonna win. But it doesn't necessarily say that you have a high boxing IQ. It's just he was walking a lot of guys down because he was bigger than them. And I'm not going to call David Benavidez a weight bully, but he was a lot bigger than a lot of guys, and he was walking guys down. Clear. Now, you look at Jai Opetaia. He's shown that he's had grit. He's shown that he can fight in the pocket. But I think with him, there is a lot more cunning. I think with him, there is a lot more elusiveness. and there is a lot more of punch selection. And no, he's not throwing as much, but he's very calculated with what he throws. In which case, I would definitely say maybe boxing IQ. I have to give it to Jai Opetaia. If I'm being honest, I would have to give it to him. Speed, David Benavidez with the hands. Overall speed, I'm going to say Jai Opetaia. David Benavidez doesn't have to have the footwork that Jai Opetaia has. He doesn't necessarily need it because he's just walking people down. He's cutting off the ring. But the speed of Jai Opetaia is going to be a problem, and the footwork of Jai Opetaia is going to be a problem, and the elusiveness of Jai Opetaia will be a problem. Defense, who's better defense? Jai Opetaia, by far. Like I said, David Benavidez is just going to shell up and then punch you 30,000 times after that. There's no great defense. It's just pretty much he's going to shell up and he's going to keep marching forward. He's going to put his shield up, and that's about what's going to happen. While you look at Jai Opetaia, he could just simply get out of the way. He has great head movement. Great hand placement. He can parry people off. Great with his footwork. He cuts angles. There's a lot of things that he can do. And he can stalk you. There's just a lot of things that he can do. So when it comes to defense, I'm definitely going with Jai. Durability. You know what? I was going to say by far, but I'm not going to say by far. I'm actually going to give this a tie. Why? Because Jai Opetaia had his jaw busted from Benavidez, and he still won the fight. He was in pain, he was suffering, but he still won the fight. He dug deep and he still won the fight. You got to give him props for that. Now you look at David Benavidez, he's just strong. He's just durable. He's been down, but he gets back up. I'm going to have to give this one a tie because both of them have shown grit and durability, and they're not going to be, denied the win. Let's see. Recovery. Who has better recovery time? I think David Benavidez. I just think, I think a part of the reason why people can't really hurt him is because they're backing up and they're throwing all these punches at him because David Benavidez is walking you down. And I think he makes people really uncomfortable when you're that big and you're walking people down and you're throwing 10,000 punches around and you're that big and you're walking people down and they're hitting you with everything they got and it's not doing anything to you. And I think it messes with their mental, which let me segue into that. Mental toughness. I got to give it a tie. I look at David Benavidez and he's calling out the best of the best, the creme de la creme, not to mention when you have Canelo running scared of you. I got to give you props just for that you have the quote unquote, pound for pound king of boxing running scared of you. I got to give him props for that. But at the same time, I look at Jai Opetaia and he's calling out the best of the best, and he's never been shy of doing that. He's even mentioned Usyk, or Usyk has been mentioned to him in several interviews, and he's never shied away from that. So I got to give it a tie when it comes to mental toughness. Both guys have been hurt, David's been down, Jai's been compromised. He had a broken jaw, compromised, and he still won. So got to give it a tie when it comes to mental toughness. Creativity. Who's more creative? Jai Opetaia. We know exactly what David Benavidez is going to do. He's going to be durable. He's going to walk and march straight forward, and he's going to hit you with a barrage of punches nonstop. We know exactly what he's going to do. Jai, you don't know exactly what he's going to do. He could lead with a shovel hook. You don't know what he's going to do. He's a very creative guy. And he's so light on his feet at the same time. So you really don't know what he's going to do. So you need to be more cautious going into the ring with him. So when it comes to creativity, I definitely got to give it to Jai Opetaia. Who is more dangerous between the two? Is it David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, or is it Jai Opetaia? I'm going with Jai Opetaia. This man broke a guy's face with one punch. This guy has a slew of bodies on the ground trying to figure out what the heck just ran into them after the fights. I got to go with Jai Opetaia. I have to go with Jai Opetaia. I think Jai Opetaia is more dangerous than David Benavidez right now. And I think that hunger that Jai Opetaia has, I feel they both have an equal amount of hunger. But I feel like Jai Opetaia, even if it's just a minute little fraction, I feel like there's somewhere in him where he doesn't feel like he's getting the props that he deserves. But he also hasn't had that big name fight or fighter or opponent, adversary. And I think David Benavidez could be that guy. Drop your thoughts down below.